Hello, Harish. Thank you so much for joining our show and the OMVAI Talk Show today. I'm very honored to have you here with me.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Likewise, even I'm very much happy, and it's a great opportunity which you have given me. I've always followed your shows, and I always thought, when will I get a chance? And I was really happy the moment you broke that news that you would want me to interviewed by you. And thanks for it.
Yeah, I know, and I'm actually very honored to have you here as well. How's the lockdown going for you right now?
We have taken lockdown very positively. We did not get depressed or frustrated because that's the first reaction everyone was giving. We actually sat down, all three of our partners, and we decided that we would still continue working. We would contact our clients and see if we can help them in lockdown with the lockdown issues. And we decided to finish our pending work so that we don't waste our time when we start again all refreshed. So we actually did not think it as a problem. We thought it as a time to self grow, look at the mistakes we are doing, maybe rectify them, give time to our family, friends, important people in our life, maybe clients, all of them, connect to them, and then prepare for the post-lockdown period really, really aggressively, because we never get such time in our hand to do it in our past life.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. I can only imagine how business is going and what the impact has been in terms of the lockdown. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your business? How did you get to where you are now?
So, quite interesting story. Obviously, everyone has an interesting story, and I feel mine will be interesting to hear. So, I will start from the start. It is You always need someone to idolize or to follow something. So, for me, my mother, who is also a lawyer and been practicing for almost more than 25 years now in my hometown in the district court. So, always whenever she would be
Wow, your mother's been a lawyer practicing for 45 years.
25 years, 25 years.
25, 25.
Yes, yes.
Wow,
So,
25 years.
yes.
So that's where you get it from, is from your mother.
Yes, yes. So I idolized my mother, and she used to share all the stories with me about the courtroom dramas, and from there it developed in me. And obviously, then I started working in law firms, and always there was one thing in mind, that I want to be an entrepreneur. And at the same time, I got two really good friends who are my colleagues and partners now, and that's how my journey started with my law firm, VIS Legis Law Practice.
Wow, and how did you meet your partners in order to form the practice? How did you get the idea of starting this practice?
One of my partners, Rahul Hingmire, he and we were studying together in the University of Nottingham in UK in the year 2009. So there we actually met for the first time and became good friends. And thereafter we worked in law firms like Khedkar and Jaker and some other law firms. And our friendship grew. At the same time, both Rahul and I met Nihar Thakre, who's another partner with us, and in Khedkar and Jaker, which was our first job. And from there, actually, the bond between us grew, and we always decided that we would want to start a law firm someday down the line. And I think 2017 is what we actually started our efforts, and August we started our law firm. That's how I met my partners.
Nice. And how were you able to convince them to start the firm in 2000s? I mean, that was only 3 years back.
Yeah. So that's also a quite interesting story. So Rahul was in his mind thinking of starting a law firm or starting as an independent lawyer. Then Rahul spoke to Nihar, and they were discussing. Then one day Nihar called me for a coffee, and he was saying that, do you see yourself starting a law firm or starting work on your own? And I told him that my mother always told me that you should start on your own and do independent practice. And that's how we being together in that discussion, we finally came together and decided to start that. So it was actually a brainchild of all three at the same time, which culminated into this law firm then.
That's great. So based on your studies in the UK, you came back to India. Can you tell me, do you feel that there's a huge difference between the legal system in the UK versus here in India? Did you feel like you had to catch up or learn things differently within the different systems?
As a lot of people are not aware, we have adopted a lot of British legal system. So a lot of judiciary, the terms and everything we have adopted from them. Obviously, there has been a lot of changes with time, and our constitution and our other laws have adopted to our living atmosphere and conditions. But yes, obviously, a lot of law is based on the judiciary, and we have adopted it from them. So there was not much, but obviously, as you see, the law was made in the year 1800 or maybe after that. So now, but the new laws are being formulated by legislature and they are coming into practice. So then you have to get adopted to them. So when I went to UK, I learned the intellectual property there. So intellectual property is same all over the world. So when I came back, it was not anything different for me to practice, and it was actually helpful for me to use it in my career and in my profession.
Nice. That's great. How you use that to your benefit. So, Harish, tell me, have you experienced any challenges in starting the firm? Were there difficulties to get big orders or clients from the start?
So it's very nice. It's actually good that you have obstacles and then actually you learn to dodge them, and then you get to success. If success comes easily, then you won't even have that importance of it. So when we started law firm, we were actually from non-entrepreneurial background. All our parents, they were working for someone of jobs or services, and so it was a very different experience when we broke this news to our parents. So they were like, okay, you have to trade very cautiously. You're doing business, but we always were very firm in doing that. There were obstacles, yes, there were, because right from branching out from good law firms from a senior position to starting on your own when you have no knowledge of how the whole business works. We may have knowledge about legal framework and how law firms function, what exactly are courtroom dramas, how do you handle matters. But then doing business and running a law firm was quite a new experience for us. So a lot of challenges. Also, as you know, all businesses require capital. So we had to put in whatever we had earned for all these years in our office, and actually that really helped. But I think someone who stood by us were our parents, and most specifically, Nihar's mother was our most biggest inspiration. Rahul's mother was our support, and they both actually told us that yes, you should jump for this, and actually we were able to dodge all the obstacles there.
Wow, that's very fortunate that you met the two of them. Very fortunate. So, Harish, tell me any funny stories, any funny entrepreneurial stories from forming the law firm?
Well, it happens a lot of time that we have same ideas and for our law firm, but we come up with different the ways to do it. But so maybe implementing something in the law firm, or maybe having different opinions on it. But yeah, ultimately we think about the firm's growth, and that's how the whole funny aspect comes into play. Sometimes we have same clients or someone pitching to the same companies, and then we later on get to know, oh, he's my client, oh, he knows you. So a lot of inquiries come. So there are many fun moments in that sense. But it actually shows that how the firm is growing and people know about firm. these are some of the fun moments.
That's great. That's great that your brand is already known. I mean, here in Mumbai, it's such a large city in general. And as well, I'm wondering what are your plans for the next 5 years in your law firm?
So as we started in August 2017, and we managed to open 3 offices in that period. So Bombay was our main office. Then we started our New Delhi office immediately in 2018, and 2019 December we opened our Pune office. So our major plan works in this way that we tend to, by 2020-25, we plan to open offices in 9 cities, and at the same time we will grow more partners. Like right now we have 2 more partners with us. One, Mr. Mohit Kundu, who handles our RERA practice, and one, Miss Ankita Yadav, who's also an associate partner and handles our Delhi office. So also vertical wise, we want to grow. We want to grow strength wise. We have a good strength of 17 people now, but we hope that we increase in all our offices, and we want to make firm a pan India law firm. That's what we hope for, and definitely some good business associations with law firms abroad. So we have already started working on it, and soon there will be a news about it.
That's great. Those are great goals. How exciting to see you grow. I'm very grateful that I have a relationship with you. If I have any issue in any of those cities, I can come to you.
Sure. Sure.
Harish, I understand that there's different types of laws that in general, different types of specialties or lines. What are your specialties in law that you practice?
So what happened when we decided to start this law firm? We all came from different areas of law. So as I would like to say that Rahul Hingmire practiced a lot in the real estate area. Then Nihar has practiced in securities laws and also in transactions. And I always was inclined to practice on the criminal side as well as the intellectual property side. So when we all came together, we all had different expertise, and it all culminated into one. So if you come specific to my area, then I really like criminal law, and at the same time, intellectual property law is what I really like to practice into.
Well, intellectual property, I mean, that's startup environments, that's very cohesive, and that's great that that's an area that you've become an expert in. So what does the legal system look like for a startup company here in India? Do you feel like it requires more improvement, or do you feel like it's an easy system to work with and navigate as compared to other countries?
So I would like to highlight that a lot of startups, they take help of the investors and angel investors, but at the same time they also take help of some investors who are not registered anywhere. They may come from with some funds, but not follow all the legal measures. So we see that a lot. So the angel investors, obviously they help. They go legally. They make agreements and everything. But if you see other investors who are traditional investors, they don't have much knowledge of the legal background. So they tend to, then startups do not tend to get into any agreements, not do any compliances if they are into production, and a hasty approach to start business. Obviously, it's not hasty. I won't call it hasty, but I would call it much excited approach to start business, which we all have. We all have that child in our hand, which we want to really raise good. But yes, in the whole aspect, we tend to forget that in future, if there's any issue, then you have to seek legal remedy. And if there's no documents made, or if there's no legal advice taken in advance, then that is going to really hamper you in your future. So I would request, and I always advise all my startups and that you should always take legal opinion before starting anything. Do abide by all the compliances, government regulations, so that you do not get affected in the near future when you are actually growing in that area. So that's what I really would like to tell all the startups.
Right. That's a great piece of advice for anybody in our audience who's in startups, for sure. Well, and I'll keep that in mind for myself as well.
I'm always happy to help you.
Right? Thank you. I appreciate that, Harish. I'm wondering, so here in India, the legal system is pretty complex. It's a lot of time required in the process in general. Would you agree with that statement or that observation that I feel like it's very complex? I mean, I know that we're in the process of digitizing. Everything will be transferred from paper to digitizing online. Perhaps that'll speed things up. But what are your thoughts on that?
So, firstly, I would like to clarify that the system has been made very foolproof. There are a lot of aspects. So, when a layman or a civilian looks at the system, they see that there are long delays in the justice being delivered, or the process is too slow and it takes time. But when you are a lawyer and you're practicing, you know what importance it holds to actually have those documents in place, have those trials conducted, do those examinations of other side. So these all things really take up time in the judiciary, and judiciary has to be very much alert while dealing with cases, because ultimately they are going to decide about your job or maybe about your individual rights. So the time factor which really is there, it has to be reduced. I totally agree, but with a country of so much population, you need more judges, you need more infrastructure. And obviously a lot of lawyers, and even in the current scenario, even courts have realized that how digitization is going to help them, how technology is going to help them. So coming to just to sum up that answer, it is like the system is really good, but you need efficient people to run it. We have a good efficient judiciary, but ultimately they are going to fall short because of the population and because of the way economy is growing and system is growing. So maybe more judges, maybe more courtrooms, maybe diversification. Like there are more tribunals now coming, like Green Tribunal, then National Green Tribunal, then in National Company Law Tribunal. So maybe such diversification can help. And at the same time, maybe we can increase our infrastructure and technology. Yes, we should take help of technology, artificial intelligence, maybe in that sense, so that we can do things quicker and get into the pace of the world.
I agree. I believe with what you're saying in terms of how our high population, so many Indians we have here. Well, I think we have over, when we think about how many rural towns are in India itself, helping all those folks be able to have access to legal and resources. We have so many lawyers in so many different cities, so making sure that we provide opportunities for them to access the legal system and the resources, correct?
Yes. So if you see, our legal system is right deep into the system. So you will see a very small village also will have a taluka, and a taluka will have a court. So we have good jurisdiction over all these areas, and all the our police machinery is also efficient. They are there to protect law. So I mean, as a country, we are phenomenal. As a system, we are phenomenal. But it is just that we need to get updated with time, and we have to make ourselves, we have to brace up ourselves for the new challenges. Basically, we can't follow the old formulas. We have to invent new ones.
Right. And that's wonderful. I believe that this is possible and that the potential is absolutely there. Thank you for sharing your journey in terms of your law firm. So I have other questions to ask you outside of that, if that's all right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In terms of your what two organizations are you most familiar with and why?
Uh, Sorry. In sense, organizations mean.
Outside of your firm, what are the two organizations that you are involved with or that you are really engaged in?
So, as I informed, my mother is a lawyer, practicing lawyer. So she works for a remand home. So remand home is actually a government body which takes care of
Or
all the remand home. REMAND. Yes.
thank you.
Yeah. So remand home is a government organization, and they actually take care of all the they care orphans. They take care of all the orphans, and they raise them, and they also give them in adoption. So my mother and I have been assisting her for her work in that area. Until date, we have helped 3,000 families to have help them to adopt children or orphans from this organization, so that they are rehabilitated and they get a good life. We also have some of our
Wow.
children. We call them children, also in abroad, in foreign countries also, and we follow all the government norms and a proper judicial process. Then the second organization I'm rightly involved, and I had also invited you, was BNI. So it's Business Networking International. So currently I'm in the leadership team of my chapter. We have small chapters all over India and abroad as well. So I'm one of the leadership team member, and we have been really working good and connecting people to do business. So I have devoted myself to business as well as some work for the society.
That's inspiring. That's inspiring how you contribute in both those organizations and both those sectors. You're making a difference in many people's lives.
Thank you.
So, looking back, what is one thing that maybe you would do differently?
So there's not one specific thing which I would do differently. I think I have had my best decisions in my life, and I cherish all the moments. I would just think that whatever I did, I should have done it more focused, maybe with more empathy, with more keenness. I think that is what I would still want to go back and do it, and enjoy those moments. Obviously, in the whole race, maybe sometime I went past them without enjoying those moments, or maybe putting more focus to finish that task. So not a specific moment, but yes, if I go back and I get to leave them again, then I would definitely inculcate all these points there.
Right. That's a great answer. Yeah. Thank you. And I'm curious as to who's your favorite hero? Who's someone you look up to?
So there are a lot of them basically, but I really follow Shivaji Maharaj a lot, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Uh, uh, yes, and I really follow him for all his courage, for all the vision he had to start his own empire. It was kind of an entrepreneurial journey only for him, because he was fighting all the odds. And I'm a firm believer in what he has done to protect and to actually grow his empire. So if you read his books about him, you will definitely like to follow him. So I think I idolize him the most in the world. I always see one video about him and how he handled one situation every day. So I make it a point that I do that.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Very good. So, can you tell me who's better? Who do you think is better, Superman or Batman?
So that's a very tricky question, I would say, amongst all. But I think I would go with Batman. I always like Batman. So yeah, but yes, all heroes are good.
Yeah, but why? Why would you pick Batman rather than Superman?
Because Superman had those fictional powers, let's say, or some superhuman powers, but Batman actually used technology to fight against all odds. So maybe it sounds more real to me. And if we take help of all these habits or maybe technology to our advantage, then maybe we can fight any battle, given battle to us in this time.
Right, right. If you were to write a book about yourself and your journey, what would the title of the book be?
So this is quite interesting question. I would say I would say that affable is what comes to my mind if you ask me. Affable. Yes. So because I'm
Say it
someone
again.
affable. Yes,
Affordable,
affable.
affable.
Yes.
Can you tell me what that means?
So affable is basically when you're the person who everyone can go to. They can come and they can share everything with you. They can feel that trust with you. They can smile with you. Maybe you can help them in their situation. So you are that one person who everyone will definitely come to you when they are, maybe they're happy, they're sad, they want to share something. So that is what I think I would want my book to be named, if there's any at all ever.
I like it. I like the title. I just have not heard of the term. So thank you for telling me that term. But I think that's a great title. I think that absolutely suits your personality.
Yeah. So the meaning is basically good, friendly, or someone who naturally would come to you. So that's what the meaning is.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's great. Yeah, that really suits you fully. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Harish, I just want to say thank you for joining our talk show. I really enjoyed our conversation. I loved hearing about your journey and looking forward to see how you grow over the next 5 years. I expect to see you everywhere in all the major cities.
Thank you, Vaibhav. I mean, it was really fun-filled conversation which we had, and yes, we have been in contact for last almost a year now, and it is always good to learn how you have also managed to dodge everything and become successful. And for us, you are a hero. Obviously, in our eyes, you are always hero, and we look up to you. I personally look up to you, and I follow. I take a very positive energy from you. At the same time, I would also thank Meteo because he's been your strong, constant support, always there. And we miss you, Meteo. Please come back soon. And we can always catch up and have our good discussions which we had.
Thank you, Harish. Thank you so much. Yes, we'll meet with you soon. And Mateo should be back in India soon enough. Thank you, Mateo, for interpreting. So we'll go ahead and close the conversation. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.